Bro, I feel like this patch is literally just recycled events and the new character is just mid, no? Well, what do you expect? It's a gacha game. Well, yeah, but like, if you don't like it, don't play it. Well, I just think stop creating drama. No, I'm not creating drama, bro. I'm just giving criticism right now. Stop. Welcome to the endless cycle of gacha defenders, a realm where logic goes to die and bad takes are resurrected every day. Today, we're diving into the mental gymnastics that players do to defend their favorite gacha games, why their arguments fall apart faster than a Genshin Impact weapon banner, and why we need to break this cycle. Hey, look, I get it. We all have that one game we ride or die for, right? Whether it's Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Honk Yap Starbucks, or Sleeper Zone Zero. There is something about these games that hooks us, but there's a fine line between loving a game and blindly defending it. And sadly, too many players cross that line. Here's the thing, when we defend mediocrity, when we brush off predatory systems with "it's just a gacha game, bro," we're not just hurting ourselves, we are holding back the entire genre. And you know what's wild? These billion-dollar companies aren't sending them thank you gift cards for it. In fact, they're just doubling down on the same practices players are blindly defending. And how do they defend these games, you ask? Oh, you're in for a treat. It's not just blind loyalty, it's a whole collection of mental gymnastics disguised as arguments. Let's take a look at some of the most common statements gacha defenders throw around and why they're not just wrong, but outright harmful for the future of these games. Well, it's better than nothing. Let's dissect this gem, shall we? From the beginning of Genshin Impact, the better than nothing defense is like giving a participation trophy to MiHoYo for not even doing the bare minimum. It's giving, I know they're charging me hundreds of dollars for a PNG, but at least they give me something this patch. Bro, what the? Scraps are still scraps. Imagine paying for an all-you-can-eat buffet, but instead of a glorious spread of dishes, they hand you one sad stale bread. Are you really going to sit there munching away saying, well, at least it's not nothing? No, you're going to demand for better food, or at the very least, your money back. But for some reason, when it comes to gacha games, people are weirdly content with low-effort updates. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, but with patch notes. This exact mindset is what led to the whole gacha is dead meme in the first place. The industry become a wasteland of lazy events and rehashed banners because people keep cheering for nothing. And if you set the bar on the floor, devs are going to trip over it. You don't reward mediocrity, you call it out. So they actually have to try. You're creating drama, you're rage baiting. Okay, so apparently saying, hey, this patch needs improvement is now equivalent of making a content creator smash or pass tier list. Let me break it down to you. Criticism isn't drama. Discussions about what's wrong with a game, that's not rage bait, that's feedback. The only people making it dramatic are the ones turning every valid critique into a personal attack. Bro, it's like chill. Like daddy chill. Nobody's storming the devs headquarters with a pitchfork. Unless that one Genshin incident when, you know, the CEO almost got stabby. We were literally just pointing out how a billion-dollar game is reusing the same stale ideas and expecting applause. The funny part, the same defenders are the one who will complain about burnout later because shocker, recycled content isn't exciting. Wow. Here's the thing, calling valid criticism drama is just a way to shut down conversations. It's easier to slap the rage bait label on someone than to actually engage with what they are saying. Hey, newsflash, discussing improvements isn't scandalous. You know what is scandalous? Your mom's cheating scandal. Nah, I'm saying no. So maybe instead of pearl clutching over critiques, we should focus on holding the devs accountable for doing better. Otherwise, we're just letting the cycle repeat, and that is the real drama. If you don't like it, don't play it. Ah, the classic. Okay, so just quit if you don't like it. Oh, because clearly, the only options in life are blind loyalty or full abandonment, right? Let's break this down. The people who criticize the game the most, they are usually the ones who care about it the most. They have invested time, money, emotional energy to it, so they would want to improve it, not crash and burn. You know who doesn't criticize the game? The people who actually don't like it. I don't think this is a hard logic to get. This mindset is like telling someone in a relationship, I think your man is getting a little bit too comfortable, just break up. No room for communication, no effort to make things better. Just throw the whole thing away. But here's the thing, criticism is the opposite of hate. It's a way of saying, I care enough about this to point out what's wrong with it so it can improve. So no, we're not quitting. We are here because we see the potential for greatness, and we're not letting billion-dollar companies skate on mediocrity. It's your fault that the insert predatory system here happened to you.
Hey bro, do you have Himiko? If not, congratulations. Hey! And congratulations on your camper!
Ah, yes, it's my fault. Oh, silly me. What a fool am I for not being a psychic and planning my polls 6 months in advance. Or for expecting a game I enjoy to have systems that aren't, you know, fair? Let's really think about this logic. A company designs a deliberately manipulative system to squeeze as much money as possible out of its player base. And somehow, it's my fault for falling into the trap. Are you dumb? This double banner setup feels like a cash grab. They are clearly incentivizing players to win. Well, you should have saved your Primo gems for 6 months ago. This is all you. Ah, yes. Next time, I'll consult my crystal ball and perfectly predict the future banners. My bad. What the? Let's not pretend the blame belongs anywhere other than the billion-dollar company crafting these systems. These games are designed by the entire teams of psychologists and economists to prey on human behavior. You are playing 4D chess against a corporation with unlimited resources, and somehow the player is the one at fault. I'm gonna pluck your eyeballs out, motherfucker. Listen, calling out predatory practices doesn't mean you're bad at managing your resources. It means you're recognizing that these systems are unfair and manipulative, and you're asking for better. And instead of blaming the victims, maybe we should start holding the companies accountable for creating the problem in the first place. So no, it's not our fault, it's theirs. And defending these systems only enables them to keep getting worse. Let's not let that happen, shall we? Well, it's free, so why are you complaining? The golden shield of it's free, so shut up. This argument is practically a relic in the gacha world, but let's dissect on why it's so hilariously wrong. First of all, just because something is free doesn't mean it's above criticism. If you watch a free YouTube video, can't you still say, hey, maybe the audio quality was bad? If you read a free webcomic, are you allowed to point out the plot holes? Oh, but it's free, you're not even paying for it. Oh, so I'm supposed to thank them for, you know, nothing. Hey, let's not pretend gacha games are truly free. Sure, you can play for free, but these games are designed to nudge, tempt, and outright push you towards spending money. Every banner, every paid battle pass, every limited time outfit, they're dangling shiny things in front of you, hoping that you'll cave. So the free part, it's a marketing hook, not a saintly gift from the heavens. Also, here's the truth. Consuming the content, whether you paid or not, gives you the right to share your thoughts. That's how opinions work. Watching a pirated anime doesn't invalidate your critique of the plot, and playing a free game doesn't mean you can't point out its flaws. It's out in the wild. It's fair game for criticism. Period. Slay. No printer. And here comes the final boss of all gacha defenses, the strongest mafia boss in Ohio. It's a gacha game. This phrase is the ultimate trump card, the all-purpose get out of jail free card for literally any problem in the gacha space. Story full of filler? It's a gacha game. Gameplay stale and repetitive? It's a gacha game. Predatory monetization, power creep, events that recycle the same 3 mechanics over and over and over again. Guess what? It's a gacha game. And somehow that's supposed to end the conversation. Like they just pulled an Exodia in a duel. Let's think about this for a second, okay? This statement isn't just an excuse. It's a weaponized cop-out. It's the rhetorical equivalent of throwing your hands up and saying, well, that's just how it is, you feel me? And what's worse, it works. The other person nods along like, oh yeah, you know what? That's true. I guess we can expect better than a gacha game. Are you serious? Why are we out here treating mediocrity and predatory practices like they're baked into the DNA of gacha games? The story is just dialogue bloat. Every patch feels like filler and the rewards are trash. Well, it's a gacha game. Of course, my bad for expecting anything better from a multi-million-dollar company. Let's all just clap politely while they give us absolutely nothing. Okay, so gacha games are inherently monetized around luck-based pulls. Yes, I know. The industry has a history of predatory practices, but does that mean we should just accept it without question? Absolutely not. Saying that it's a gacha game to justify anything, it's like saying, oh, it's a fast food burger to excuse fighting a cockroach in your meal. Sure, fast food isn't Michelin-star dining, but there is still a basic standard that it should be. When you use it's a gacha game as a shield, you're normalizing horrible practices. You're saying it's okay for these companies to prey on people, to design systems that exploit FOMO, to milk players dry, their wallets, I mean. Some people have lost their life savings to these games. Some gone into debt. Fob Master could have bought a house.
Can I stop spending $200 per copy of Ellen, please? Huh? It doesn't even feel good. How many Ellen copies do I have now, man? I only have C3. I'm ill.
And you're just sitting there saying, well, that's how it is. No, that's not how it is. That's not how it's supposed to be. Do you know why gacha games are allowed to be so predatory nowadays? Because of this mindset, this apathy that is what enables developers to keep pushing boundaries and testing how far they can exploit their player base. You're not just defending the system, you're feeding it. And let's talk about how this phrase enables laziness. Oh, this story sucks. It's a gacha game. Oh, so it's normal for a $1 billion studio to deliver poorly paced, filler-filled dialogue dumps with still image cutscenes. No, that is not just because it's gacha. It's because they know they could get away with it. Players like you are already defending them. So why would they try harder? Oh my god. Gameplay repetitive? It's a gacha game. Oh, it's so totally acceptable for a game to ignore innovation and pump out the same mechanics year after year. Why? Because you're convinced yourself that gacha equals no effort required. But then a game like Wuthering Waves comes along and shows that no, actually, you can innovate in this space. You can deliver compelling gameplay and a fair gacha system, improvements over patches without falling into the same tired patterns. Yet, despite this innovation, people are already doomsaying Wuthering Waves' future simply because it's a gacha game. They are predicting disasters that haven't even shown signs of happening. Oh, just wait, they're going to release a broken character that power creeps everyone else and ruins the balance of the game. Really? Based on what? There's no evidence, no signs. Every character that has been released has only gotten stronger with the nightmare echoes with the new echo sets. Somehow you're already convinced that it's inevitable because, well, that's just a gacha game, you know? This is not criticism, it's fear-mongering, rooted in the baggage of other games. Wuthering Waves isn't perfect, but it's already proving that this genre doesn't have to follow the same destructive patterns. So why are people so eager to lump it in with the worst examples instead of giving it the chance to prove it could be different? If this phrase excuses everything, where do you draw the line? At what point does it stop being acceptable? Is there no room for improvement at all? Or are we just supposed to be a good boy and accept whatever table scraps these companies throw at us? Because that's just how it's always been. It's always a gacha game. The truth is, this mindset is holding the entire genre back. It's why we have so many cookie cutter gacha games flooding the market. It's why innovation is rare and companies feel no pressure to improve. The moment that you accept that it's a gacha game as an answer, you're giving these companies permission to do the bare minimum. This mindset, the acceptance of mediocrity, is exactly why Genshin Impact has stagnated. Instead of being a genre leader that is constantly pushes the boundaries, it's coasting on the goodwill that is built at launch. And the part of that stagnation is because of the community itself, especially the content creators. Because let's be real, many Genshin Impact content creators are too afraid to address the game's glaring issues because they don't want to rock the boat. Instead, they hype up every new patch, every character, no matter how repetitive or uninspired. And when somebody actually stands up and says, hey, this isn't good enough, they're immediately labeled as toxic or accused of creating drama. Oh my god, don't watch that guy. He's so negative. Watch my content instead. I'll tell you why every patch is amazing and why you should spend your primo gems right now. I should be the only mother trucker getting praised. This creates a toxic, hyper-defensive fan base that fights every criticism. They'll go to war in the comment section to protect the honor of a $1 billion corporation, all because someone dared to say, we deserve better. Alright, it's time to talk directly to you, the fans, the players, the heart of the community. If you love a game, truly love it, then stop letting these companies off the hook for mediocrity. Stop applauding when they give you scraps. Stop calling filler patches content. Stop pretending that the bare minimum is enough. The games we love deserve more than that, and so do we. These companies rake in millions, sometimes billions, off the backs of our passion, our wallets, and our time. So why do we settle for less? Why do we reward laziness and brush off predatory practices with excuses like it's a gacha game? If you're going to pour your time and money into something, make it worth it. Demand better stories, better gameplay, demand better systems, better rewards. Don't just be a passive consumer, be an active fan. Be the kind of fan that pushes your favorite game to reach its full potential, not the kind who defends its worst habits. A good friend will call out your mistakes, not hype you up. Because here's the truth, when you excuse mediocrity, when you defend stagnation, when you enable exploitation, you're not helping your favorite game, you're killing it. You're smothering its potential under a blanket of blind loyalty and toxic positivity. If the players are the lifeblood of a game, then ask yourself this: are you giving it life, or are you slowly draining it dry? The choice is yours.